Hey guys, I wanted to show you how to set up an SM a little bit more advanced. One of the issues I noticed doing my pathing is that during the path I would come across a mob, and unfortunately I'd be standing over here behind the tree and I would get this. You cannot use that because there's an obstacle in the way. But often with the SM, I'm sending in my pet first, and so my pet's just getting smacked and ends up dying, and then aggro's the mob, and I don't have a pet, and then I end up dying. So the idea is we're going to start a text file monitor. That way we can monitor our chat log and find a specific saying. In this case, we're going to be using obstacle in the way. So first thing we go down to is edit text file monitors. Now I have a number of other text file monitors going. It's probably bad coding form, but I'm going to add another one anyways. This one I'm going to call line of sight just for myself. You can call it whatever you want. Line of sight. Okay. Now I want to have it parse the logs, let's say every, I don't know, every 200 milliseconds or so. So pretty quickly. Now I won't adjust any of the variables or the routines. What I'm going to do is add a trigger. Add a trigger, we'll call it again line of sight. Line of sight. And I'm not the world's fastest typer, so don't worry about it. Now, remember that phrase that we talked about earlier, an obstacle is in the way. So it's going to contain, anytime this pops up in the chat file, we want it to perform an action. Well, I haven't set up a routine yet, so let's do that, and then we'll come back to the text file monitor and we'll adjust it. Okay? Now, in the routines, what I'm going to do is call start a routine and call it line of sight. Line of sight. And I'm going to leave all these other options alone. Hit OK. Now it brings up a blank routine. Now in my skill bar I have my attack set at 1 for the pet, and then my move command set at Alt 0. So the idea is, what has seemed to work for me, is that if I send my pet in and he starts to attack this this mob here, and I can't see him, I want him to come back or return to me. So we're going to have him move back, but it's going to take several times, because if he's hitting the mob's most likely hitting him, and so if he starts to come back and the mob may attract his aggro again, so he's going to turn around. So we may have to press Alt 0 several times. Alright, whoops, let's go back up to the routine editor. So first thing I'm going to do is add keyboard commands over on the right hand side. I'm going to say press a key, so drag and drop local game window, and for this one it's going to be 2 keys, the Alt and 0. Alt 0, hold down time, let's say 100 milliseconds, post press 100, and I want to repeat this a few times. That way he will be sure to come back from where he's gone. So I'm just going to, let's see here, copy and paste. So there's 4 times. And then at the end of this, I want my pet to attack again, so I'm going to use this 1 key. So I'm going to add another one. This time it's only going to be local game window, 1 key, and the number 1. And we'll hold it down roughly 100 milliseconds. That's kind of my default. It seems to work. Okay, so now this routine called line of sight has been created. Now it's going to hopefully work. So we'll X out of this. Now we'll go back to our text file monitor here. The line of sight contains an obstacle in the way. We're going to add that routine or link that routine. So we want to start a routine and go all the way down to line of sight. Line of sight, OK. Now start a routine when it finds this. Let's just make sure that everything's else set up. 200, yep, all right, good. So now if I send my pet in, it's going to hit Alt 0 and 1 after the 4 presses of Alt 0. That way it'll pull the enemy or the mob back around and hopefully in the line of sight where I can actually attack him. So anyways, I would show you how it works, but I'm having too much fun playing. If you have any questions, let me know.